As they are, it's not the magnitude of our problems that concerns me the most. It's the smallness of our politics. America's faced big problems before, but today our leaders in Washington seem incapable of working together in a practical, common-sense way. Politics has become so bitter and partisan, so gummed up by money and influence, that we can't tackle the big problems that demand solutions. And that's what we have to change first. We have to change our politics and come together around our common interests and concerns as Americans.
Lord, let me eat. I'm sick and tired of doing bad, begging and borrowing, starving like Marvin out in these streets. Lord, let me eat. Material.
The same old Washington game over and over and over again, and somehow expecting a different result. That's a risk we cannot afford. That's a gamble we cannot take. We got to turn the page and write a new chapter in American history. But this is part of what we have to change. You know, folks just willing to say anything just to get elected. That's how Washington works. This party, the party of Jefferson and Jackson, of Roosevelt and Kennedy, has always made the biggest difference in the lives of the American people when he led not by polls, but by principle, not by calculation, but by conviction. When we summoned the entire nation to a common purpose, a higher purpose. I am in this race to tell the corporate lobbyists that their days of setting the agenda in Washington are over. I have done more than any other candidate in this race to take on the lobbyists, and I have won. They have not funded my campaign, they will not work in my White House, and they will not drown out the voices of the American people when I am president.
America still has the most talented, the most productive workers of any country on earth. Workers who are willing to work 2 jobs, work overtime, to take the last bus home at night because they want something more for their children. We're still the home of innovation and technology, of colleges and universities that are the envy of the world. Some of the biggest ideas in history have come from our small businesses, our research facilities. So it won't be easy. It won't happen overnight. But there is no reason that we can't steer ourselves out of this crisis and make this century another American century. I know we can, but I'm going to need you to make it.
And I think we as Americans have become so jaded by the things that we can't change, that we feel like we can't change, that we don't have a voice anymore. And I feel like Barack represents the voice of the people.
I'm sick and tired of doing bad, begging and borrowing, starving like Marvin out in these streets. Lord, let me eat. Material can't feed my physical. Ain't no denying I'm blessed and I'm grateful, but I want to eat.
The hopes that they hold in common. That whether we are rich or poor, black or white, Latino or Asian, whether we hail from Iowa or New Hampshire, Nevada or South Carolina, we are ready to take this country in a fundamentally new direction. That's what's happening in America right now. Change is what's happening in America.
sick and tired of
You said the time has come to tell the lobbyists who think their money and their influence speak louder than our voices that they don't own this government. We do, and we are here to take it back. But listen here, Indiana. I'm here today to tell you that there are better days ahead. I know these times are tough, and I know that many of you are anxious about the future, but this isn't the time for fear or for panic. This is time for resolve and steady leadership. I know that we can steer ourselves out of this crisis because that's who we are. This is the United States of America. This is a nation that's faced down war and depression, great challenges and great threats. And at each and every moment, we have risen to meet these challenges. Not as There's something happening when people vote not just for party that they belong to, but the votes, the hopes that they hold in common. That whether we are rich or poor, black or white, Latino or Asian, whether we hail from Iowa or New Hampshire, Nevada or South Carolina, we are ready to take this country in a fundamentally new direction. That's what's happening in America right now. Change is what's happening in America.
Lord, let me eat. I'm sick and tired of doing bad, begging and borrowing, starving like